Today's mobile phone technology utilises digital radio networks and can't be listened to on a conventional radio scanner. However, not too long ago, as late as the 1990s, you could very easily listen to mobile phones on what was the analogue ETAX network, or Extended Total Access Communication System. TAX and ETAX are now both obsolete in Europe, having been replaced by GSM, which stands for Global System for Mobile Communication, and in the United Kingdom the last ETAX service operated by Vodafone was discontinued on the 31st of May 2001 after 16 years of service. The competing service in the UK, operated by Cellnet and then BT Cellnet, was closed on Sunday the 1st of October 2000. The frequencies used by ETAX were 917.0125 to 949.9875 and could easily be listened to on an ordinary wideband radio scanner with a suitable antenna such as a discone. These are a jack of all trades, master of none type antenna, but cover the old ETAX frequency range. This made it very easy to listen to TAX and ETAX channels, but calls could be handed off to a channel on another cell. Enthusiasts sometimes used a modified Motorola 4500X phone connected to a PC via the parallel printer port to decode the channel hopping, or alternatively an NEC P3 phone with the Basher firmware. Basher firmware allowed you to scan ETAX channels and also to clone somebody else's electronic serial number, or ESN, over the air, and these were known as vampire phones. Back in the 1990s, London electronic artist Robin Rimbaud, who went by the names of Scanner, used to roam the country's capital armed with a radio scanner and a discone antenna, monitoring hundreds of frequencies for mobile phone calls.
Essentially, I mean, what we're seeing here is a big aerial. It's that kind of thing where they say size doesn't matter, and maybe it does sometimes. And I use this, a handheld radio device called a scanner, which is where I inspirationally took my name from. And what it is a long-range radio receiver. It's like at home if you have a domestic radio that goes from 88 to like 106, I think it is. This goes from 0 to 1,000, and it just speeds through the universe of sound out there. It starts at the bottom of the scale around 0 to 4. Things like hearing aids, microwaves and so on. And you move through taxi drivers, trains, hospital paging systems, army bases and so on. You move through aeroplanes, and these devices are commercially sold, so you can park your car outside an airport and listen to the aeroplanes going overhead, so make of that what you will.
Scanner recorded these mobile phone conversations and set them to electronic abstract music, and often played these at live gigs. He cut out any personal information such as addresses, phone numbers and names, but managed to capture some quite haunting audio.
And what was I going to say? Are you going to come down then tonight and see me? Do you love me enough to come and see me tonight? Do you love me enough to come and see me tonight? And what was I going to say? Are you going to come down then tonight and see me? Do you love me enough to come and see me tonight? Do you love me enough to come and see me tonight? In here in the house with no telly, no light. Wilma, I'm telling you now, right? We have no lights. Not even the clock's working. I've got a candle right here at the end of the bedside, right? We're sitting here with no light, no telly. I've told you about it.
It's amazing how these mundane conversations set to music, along with the nostalgia of radio scanning from days gone by, can sound so interesting. Who was the girl on the phone, and did a boyfriend love her enough to go and see her?
Listen, I just had this strangest fucking call from Bonesy saying that he's got the keys for Nottingham Place. Jane can't find a girl. She's given him the keys and said sort out a girl. And he goes, oh, you're
Some manufacturers made antennas for scanners during this time for use in monitoring mobile phone conversations. I have an 800 MHz version here, which was very kindly gifted to me by the Laughing Policeman Wireless Society. This is a quarter wave ground plane antenna capped with a PVC cap for protection and a short length of coax to allow it to fit onto a radio scanner. These still worked okay for ETACS monitoring on 900 MHz. In January of 1990, two reporters from the Sun newspaper met Cyril Reenan, a 70-year-old retired bank manager at a railway station near his home in the town of Abingdon in Oxfordshire. He regularly listened in on non-commercial radio frequencies for amusement with his wife, in much the same way that some people listen to police frequencies using household radio sets. He played them excerpts from a tape he'd recorded of the pre-1990 analogue mobile phone conversations between Diana, Princess of Wales, and a close friend, James Gilbey. Cyril was noted as saying to reporters that he was, in quotes, "so nervous I just want you to take the tape away. I didn't know what to do with it once I'd got it. I was stuck with it and I was frightened of it. And if the newspaper had told me that it was dangerous, I would have burned it or scrubbed it out." Audiotel concluded that the presence of data bursts on the tape was suspicious. Data bursts in the form of pips at intervals of approximately 10 seconds containing information for billing purposes would normally be filtered out at the exchange before cellnet transmission. That these pips were present at all was therefore abnormal, but they were also too fast, too loud, and exhibited a low-frequency audio shadow, implying that there was some sort of doctoring of the tape. Audiotel's managing director said in his report that the balance of probability suggests something irregular about the recording, which may indicate a rebroadcasting of the conversation sometime after the initial conversation took place. So, by the end of the 1990s, GSM was fast becoming the world standard for mobile phone communications. 2G GSM networks replaced the analogue 1G networks, and it was no longer possible to listen to mobile phone communications on a radio scanner. The ETACS network was finally closed in mid-2001 and fast became history compared to today's modern 4G and 5G networks.
I phoned you for a reason, actually.
Oh, do you? All right. Cool.
Nederland is bij sommige groepen vooral geliefd vanwege die